Okay, so picture this. School has just ended, and you have this massive, at least I think it's massive anyways, deserted playground, and the only people on it are 3 7-year-olds and my dad watching over us to make sure that nobody gets seriously hurt. Little did he know that somebody would get hurt, and that's kind of why I'm telling this story. My apologies for that sentence. It must have struck fear into the heart of my dad, who I know is in the audience. Oh, okay, I guess not then. So, anyways, basically, I was 7 when I was in 2nd grade. And basically, today, well, like other days, basically after school I hang out with my brother and my friend Grace. Now Grace is a massive tomboy, definitely athletic, and something that the 3 of us liked doing together was going on the zipline on our playground. And despite the fact that, I've told you that our playground is pretty massive. First of all, 80% of it is field, and second of all, zipline wasn't massive. It was just like this normal size zipline, except the only thing normal about it, the only thing that wasn't normal about it, pardon me, I'm getting nervous, was when you go on it, you'd kind of hear the wheels inside just be super rickety, so you could kind of hear it as you were going down. Anyways, so basically, I remember when Grace was going on the zip line, she showed my brother and I this trick in which so basically on her zip line, you hold on to this handle, you go down, and then at the end there's this bump that you go against, and you kind of are thrusted backwards, so you kind of have to hold on to it if you're short, like my 7-year-old self was, so that way you don't just fall. And basically what Grace did was she jumped off right as soon as she hit the bump. And I know it doesn't sound that impressive when I say it out loud, but to my 7-year-old self, I'm oh my goodness, that's the most impressive stunt I've ever seen. Oh my goodness, it's so dangerous. I'm totally gonna do it. I'm gonna be a massive daredevil. I'm just gonna be I don't care what anybody says. I can do what I want to, and it's going to be awesome. Oh my goodness. So obviously I was overhyping this, and basically we took turns going on the zip line, and finally it was my turn to go on. So everything went as normal at first. I hung onto the zip line, heard the rickety, don't know how to describe it in word form, sound of the zip line's wheels going up against the metal on the inside. And I was planning on jumping off as soon as I got to the bump at the end of the zip line, but I must have went off at the wrong time or something, because instead of landing on the wood chips and looking absolutely accomplished or whatever I was intending on looking like when I was 7 years old, I instead, so those things in cartoons in which there's a banana peel on the floor and then they the cartoon walks over it and then they fall backwards and they flip in the air. Well, basically, that's kind of how I fell, except there was no banana peel and I was in midair. So, I flipped in midair, and then I landed on my back, and the sheer impact of my fall made the wood chips on the ground seem slightly more sharp than they actually were, which just added on more pain than there already was in the first place. And, obviously, I was hurt at this point. And then I was lying there on the ground, and then I realized I couldn't breathe. So that was terrifying, because then my 7-year-old self was oh my goodness, I'm dying. Imagine all the things that I'm not going to be able to accomplish. Oh my goodness, I'm not going to be able to get my own locker in middle school that I've always dreamed of. I'm not going to be able to graduate 1st grade. I'm not going to be able to go to high school and get my diploma. I don't even know what that is, but it sounds important. So, basically, of course, at this point, my brother and Grace and Dad came over, and of course, Grace and my brother were probably wondering what the hell just happened. And obviously, one thing that they didn't know was that I was on the ground, I was obviously hurt, And of course my dad came over and asked me if I was okay. I just responded with a gasp of air. So he was like, oh, shoot, she's winded. So basically, that's kind of what happened. And after just kind of being there with me, trying to help me get through it, after a while, I managed to be able to breathe again, and then all of them kind of helped me get off the ground. And yeah. Unfortunately, after that, I developed a mild fear of zip lines, and it took a while before I was able to muster up the courage to go on that very one again. But anyways, moral of the story, don't hurt yourself trying to impress your friends. But to this day, I'm not sure if Grace knows if I was trying to impress her or not. I'm not sure how she would feel if she knew I was trying to impress her, considering the end product of that. But yeah, we ended up just laughing it off afterwards. So yeah, I know I've already said this, but don't hurt yourself trying to impress your friends, guys. And this applies to all age groups.